Hey, wives. Hello, and happy Self-Care Friday. I'm running a little bit behind today. I had to take some calls, so I'm trying to catch up. Hopefully we don't have no interruptions with all this outage talk and stuff that's been going on today. Baby, Jesus be a fence. We're going to pray now in the name of Jesus. Lord God, cover me and cover this live. May this word bring forth confirmation, revelation, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to some, to help wives to do what it is that they need to do. I pray for God's covering. May the blood of Jesus keep us. May there be no backlash. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Hello, all. Hello, wives. Happy Self-Care Friday. Listen, because I'm already behind, I'm going to just jump right on into this word. I'm going to just jump right on in with what I have to share on today. Y'all see the title, Her Yes. But y'all know I always try to start off and share what I feel like, the Lord has given me to, speak to the people, whether it be, prophetic for some people, maybe it be confirmation for some, whether it just be just some encouragement. I try to share what God has told me or have shared with me first, and then get into what it is that I want to, share with the people. So I say that to say, I want to start off by first saying that as an entrepreneur and businesswoman, I'm a wife coach, right? I'm a wife coach. That would be considered like, quote unquote, the title. I don't really do good with titles, but that would be considered a title. But, baby, in the kingdom, my area of ministry, my area of work, my area of, what God has called me to, the areas that he has called me to, I operate in the area of healing and deliverance. That's my area. In my coaching business, I do minister to my clients. I do. It's a business that I get the opportunity to minister to my clients in. And I simply do this by having conversations with wives about where they are on their journey, right? I simply get a chance to sit down. This is why I'm so in tune with, the one-on-ones, because that's what I do as a coach. And then I feel like God allows me, even as a wife coach, to minister in the same, in the same sense. Because I specialize in the marriage department, especially with, marriages that are in challenging seasons, some or maybe most of what I have to say is very controversial, okay? It is very controversial. It goes completely against the normal. It goes completely against what the world may say, what culture may say, society, or even sometimes what the church, what they may deem as normal, right? That ain't my ministry. My ministry goes completely against those things, right? And I can say that boldly, and I can say that, that is what it is. God did not call me to a place of normacy. He did not call me to normacy. He called me specifically to a set of women, wives in particular, who husbands are living a life in darkness, right? God has called me to the husband who is struggling with getting his life together. He's called me to his wife. That's who God has called me to. These wives have been chosen to stand in the gap for a unfair, unjust, unfaithful man. Okay? These wives have been chosen to stand in a gap for an unfair, an unjust, and an unfaithful man. Not to be drawn to their wives. This is not what it's about. It's not about the wife necessarily drawing her husband to herself, but to be drawn to God first by the witnessing of what she is doing as a wife. By her witness, okay? And I always encourage wives to go back to read, 1 Peter 3, 1 through 5. Right? Healthy is attractive, wife. I share this all the time. Healthy is attractive. And you being a representative and being a witness to your husband is going to do one or two things. You're going to either draw him to the Lord, or you're going to draw him and pull him further and further away. But if God has called you to do this type of assignment, it's not that he's necessarily, calling you to draw your husband to you. He's using you to draw your husband to him. And I am mighty, 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 mighty afraid. I am mighty afraid that we are losing a lot of husbands who are walking in darkness, who are unaware of their wounds, who are unaware of their where they are. I'm mighty afraid we're losing husbands because of their wives' refusal to submit and surrender her yes. We are losing husbands because wives don't have a true revelation about why God has told her to stay in his marriage. We are losing husbands because wives are not really certain about what they're supposed to be doing. Their mind frame of this is, well, I'm his wife and he's supposed to be doing this, and he's supposed to be doing this, and he's supposed to be doing this, and he ain't doing none of those things. And he's acting like this, and he's doing these things, and he's doing these things. That wife is not really clear about her assignment. That wife is not really clear about what it is that God has called her to. And God is saying today, all I need is one yes. I need her yes. And so today I'm on an assignment to come and speak to the wives about her yes. So welcome, wives. My name is Coach T. For someone who may not know me, I am a mental health wife coach. I'm a mental health wife coach and marriage consultant. I coach wives who are going through a marital hardship or wives who are going through a marital separation. Many of the wives that I coach have biblical reasons to exit out of their marriages. They have biblical reasons to exit out of their marriages. Yet they feel a tug. They feel a pull. They feel something that's saying, I ain't supposed to go nowhere. I'm supposed to be here. God is calling me here. And because of this reason, I help that wife to confront whatever her marital injury is. I help that wife to confront her grief, to confront her reality, to confront, what she's dealing with. I help that wife to confront her marital pain and then help her to navigate, walk through, overcome some of that by helping her to prioritize herself and focusing on her other earthly assignments that God has called her to. All right. So welcome. So today's message is not necessary for every wife. It's not necessary for every wife, but to the one, because anytime you talk about marriage and wife and stuff like that, everybody just assume like, I'm a wife, I fall in that category. It's like, no, I don't coach every wife. I'm not called to every wife. I'm called to the wife who 1 Peter 3 talks about. I'm called to that wife who, if her husband is struggling with his own relationship with God, that's the wife I'm called to. I'm called to that wife whose husband is a cheater. I'm called to the wife who her husband is, in addiction. I'm called to the wife whose husband is, deals with abandonment. I'm called to that wife. I'm not called to every wife, right? I don't coach every wife. And that is why, and that's what sets me apart for some of other marriage coaches or wife coaches, all right? And so this may not necessarily be for every wife. But to the one who knows God has been tugging at her heart and he is waiting on your yes, this message is for you. All right? This message is for you. So y'all know I be trying to figure out, like, by the time the end of the week come, because usually before, back in the day, I used to have, like, what I'm going to say, what I'm going to share. Mind you, we are not even referencing the Becoming book today, all right? This is straight off the grill. This is straight from heaven's gates, okay? And so usually, back in the day, I used to have, like, it together as far as, like, what I was going to come on and share, how I'm going to talk to the people, what it is, I'm going to say. But lately, it seems like, God has really, really been dealing with me as far as, what he want me to say. He's been specific about what he want me to share. And so this morning, because it was Friday today, and I was like, I still don't know what I'm going to say, share with the people. I don't have anything. Like, I literally don't have anything. Sometimes I've been like, sketched out, some words here and there, wrote some notes here, then took some notes. But God has even had me in a place where I am, being very gentle on my ears. As far as what I'm listening to, what I'm engaging in, it's just like, turn it off. He just really been like, don't listen to that. Just sit here in a quiet. If you don't want to watch nothing on TV, just sit here. It's not even about me scrolling through, YouTube, like, I used to could do. God has been really, really strategic, in this season when it comes down to my ears. And so this morning, God woke me up with a praise in my spirit. He woke me up with a praise in my spirit, and I had a song in my heart. Come on, Jesus. Now, the song that came in my spirit was Yes. Now, we know is it Shakar Glory or something like Shakar Glory? They had a song called Yes, okay? And it wasn't that song. This Yes came from the movie The Color Purple. Yes. 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 And that's all I kept on hearing over and over again. I'm like, and it won't go to the next verse. It would just go back to that yes. It was yes. 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 I'm like, okay. All right. And so I kept on hearing that over and over again. We would never get to the other words. It would just staying at the yes. And I got in the shower. It was yes, yes, yes. I'm like, so that was like, okay. That's what got me up this morning. Like that was literally what got me out of bed. Okay. Right before my mama called me. That's what I was hearing in my ear. I was hearing that song from the movie Color Purple. And of course, when that happened, I'd be like, God, where we going with this? Okay. Because not that God is necessarily preparing me for a word for, you. He prepares a word for me too. He prepares a word for me first so I can be able to share it with you. And so I'll be looking for what he wants to say to me. I'll be looking for me to even be able to pour into you. And so I was like, okay, God, where we going? Because I'm hearing this yes. I mean, it was like loud. Yes. Yes. I'm like, did I do something wrong? Did I do something wrong? I was a little bit feeling some kind of way yesterday towards my husband, but I wasn't like ugly or nothing towards him. Like, I wasn't ugly, guy. Like, did I do something wrong? And so he took me to Isaiah chapter 1, verse 19, which reads, if you be willing and obedient, you shall eat the good of the land. Again, I was like, God, where we going with this? Like, where are we going with this? As I felt like I should read the verse again. Like, I felt like, okay, I needed to read this, I needed to read this verse again. And again, it was, if ye be willing, this is the King James Version, child. I don't even read the King James Version. If ye be willing and obedient, you shall eat the good of the land. I'm like, okay. So sometimes, when God gives you a word or whatever like that, you want to just kind of like sit with it. And that's what I do. And I'm not really sure, I'm just trying to like just sit with it, just kind of like see, what he's saying. And so then I kind of like start feeling like, okay, I feel like God is talking about this event that he's been talking to me about, that I've been kind of like, putting it in the back seat, but like still doing stuff. And so it brings me to my confession. Coach T do not like doing group coaching. Okay. I do not like doing group coaching. Group coaching is not my ministry. Okay. That's not my area. But a lot of times I be feeling like God be stretching me sometimes in this area where he really be pushing me to do, like, I need you sometimes to get out of your comfort zone and do something different. Okay. And so God has been really, really tugging at my heart about, doing this Master Life marriage class. And, I'm like, okay, all right, God, I surrender. And so I keep hearing him say, people need to hear your teaching about this. Like, people need to know, your perspective on this. People need to hear this. People need to hear your teaching about this. Me, being extra, I was like, but God, don't I already do that? Like, don't I already come on here like every week and talk to the people and I share my perspective and I share, what it is that you want me to say? Like, what's the difference? And so immediately after that, he was like, this will be different. This was different. So I'm like, okay, all right. And so with that being said, I want to just remind you that the Master Life free online marriage event is now up. You can actually go and register. I have shared the links on my social media platforms. And I will share a link in the capture below where you can actually go and sign up for the Master Life marriage event that will be held on August the 17th. You can register through Eventbrite today. All right. You can go and register. I've already had some, registrations coming through. I've already got questions. I've already got some questions about this event as well as to will there be a replay available? And my answer to that is no. No, there would not be a replay. Because this is a free event, replays would not be available. Because this is a free event, replays will not be available. Again, God is strategic, and he has been very, very strategic with me and the instructions that he has been given to me. And so I sense God saying to me that you only want the ones who are thirsty for this type of teaching. You only want the ones who are thirsty for this type of message. This ain't about ones like, oh, okay, well, can I listen to it later? It's like, that ain't the one that you really want there anyways, right? Everyone is not really serious about their journey and and really, really want to do this. And so a lot of people just be wasting your time. And it's like, I don't got that kind of time to waste. Like, I don't have that kind of time to waste. So will there be a replay? No. If you are not available to show up there, then, you just missed that free event. And I almost say, like, this is kind of like mine, because I always usually do like something, for the summertime. I offer sometime, promotions or something. I didn't really do that much this year. And so this is kind of my summertime special. This is the summer special. And I was not originally in agreement with God when he told me to do it for free. But again, God has been very, very strategic about this. And so there will not be replays available for this because it is a free event. You need to be there, show up live and in person. If your marriage journey is important to you, you will register and you will be there. What I have discovered as a coach is that some wives make room for what's important to them. Like, if it's something important for them, like if you have a hair appointment that you got to be to, okay, me as well. I'm guilty of that. I'm not gonna miss that. Like, I need my hair did. I'm gonna be there, right? So if it's important to you, then you will show up, all right? And if your marriage is important to you, then this event, it's for you. If it's not, like I say, everybody's not serious about this journey. Everybody's not really there. Then it's probably not the event for you anyways. All right. So there will be no replays. All the information you need is on Eventbrite, and you can contact me with any additional questions. And I will keep you posted with the details. Once you register online, I have your email address. So I'll be able to communicate with you, and you can communicate with me as well. You can always ask questions or send me a message or whatever. So then, now that we got that part out the way, I was like, okay, God, we finally got it up and moving, up and popping. I done did what you told me to do. All right. Your girl is moving forward. I'm being obedient. Then I was like, so what you want me to share with the ladies today? Like, okay, you done got me right. You done told me what I needed to do. What you want me to share with people today? Because they going to be looking for a message today. And I feel like God told me, tell them they have to keep giving me their yes. Tell them that they have to keep giving me their yes. Listen to me, wives. There is this emotion that is very, very real. And that emotion is called the spirit of weariness. Weariness. It's a real thing, y'all. It is a real thing. To be weary is to be extremely tired or fatigued. It is a condition of being physically or mentally exhausted by hard work or strain. And sometimes when you have been trusting God for a very long time about something and you're not necessarily seeing the results, or you're seeing bare minimum results, it can cause discouragement and lead you to shutting down, which can lead you to pick up that spirit, that spirit of weariness. But God said he needs you to keep telling him yes. He needs you to keep telling him yes. In other words, God needs you to continue to encourage yourself in him and gain your strength and confidence from him. A lot of times, wives are going down this path because they shift from taking their focus off of God. They shift from taking their focus off of what God is saying to them, and they shifting on their circumstances, what they're seeing, what they're dealing with. And it's like, you got to be able to bounce back. You got to be able to see it and not see it. Okay, but come back here. Okay, no, I'm not gonna focus on that. You got to know how to bring that thing back, because otherwise this thing will throw you. Okay, it can literally throw you. And you have to, wife, you have to keep yourself encouraged in the Lord. You have to draw your strength from the Lord on this journey. You won't do well. You're just not going to do well. Okay. Wives have to understand that God is the head chief on this journey. He is the head macho on this journey. And if he says he's going to get you to a place, trust and believe he's going to get you to that place. If he says, just keep walking with me, just keep watching me, just keep staying focused on me, just keep coming after me, just keep following me. If he's telling you to do those things, trust and believe he's going to get you there. He's going to get you there. All right. But you got to keep your focus on him. So many wives are falling underneath this spirit of weariness because they have taken their focus off of the Lord. And they're getting distracted with all the things that's happening. Because if the truth be told, like I said, like a few videos ago, transitioning is happening. And transition is happening all around you. And sometimes when you're seeing other things starting to happen for other people and you still in the same stuck place, you're trying to figure out like, okay, am I doing something wrong? And did I miss a step? Did something happen? Am I supposed to go, do something else, God? Like, how is that these people are moving and I started way before them and it seems like they get into their place before me and I'm still here in the same place? Like, did I miss something? You have to keep your focus on the Lord. How to avoid weariness and keep your yes a yes. Let me give you a few things that you can do. Take a break. Take a break. Like, you can take a break. God gives you permission to take a break. Reassess your goals. Reassess your goals. All right. That's important. A lot of times, and I don't want to just say goals. I want to say realistic goals. Because a lot of times wives be saying stuff like, oh, I want to do this. They want to do all these grand things. It's like, but is that realistic for you right now? Like, what's realistic for you in the next week or two? What's realistic for you in the next 30 days? Like, start small sometimes, because that can be overwhelming and can cause weariness. When you try to start big and just jump out here and do, unrealistic things. Reassess your goals. Number 3, find balance. So many wives I talk to have no balance on this. They're either one or two ways, and there's no gray area. They either all in and I'm going in for the Lord. They either all in that way, or they real lack and chill and just chilling. Like, if it happens, it happens. If I do it, I do it. So it's like I'm having either one or the other, but they don't have no middle. They don't have no middle. They don't have any balance. A lot of these wives sometimes they're not even people no more. They have turned into this machine almost. Like, it's either the machine is up, pumped, and ready to go. Like, we on this way, or that machine is down, honey. It's like, knock, are you there? Okay. They don't have any middle. A lot of wives I have encountered. It's like, not saying they don't have personality, but it's like they don't know who they are. They have completely lost their identity in this or on this marital restoration journey. So they don't even know now who they are, what they're supposed to be, what they're supposed to be doing, Now, my husband's not talking to me. He's not complimenting me. He's not saying these things to me. I don't know what I'm supposed to be outside of being a wife. It's like they have lost themselves. And God is like, hello, you. I need you to come back over here. I need you to come back over here because I'm trying to get something to you. They got to find that balance, okay? They got to find that balance. And then go talk to someone. Go talk to someone. A reliable source. Someone who understands your journey. These are some 4 basic things that you can start doing to avoid that spirit of weariness. These are some things that you can do. A lot of times, a lot of wives that I talk to are so overwhelmed, are so weary, are so tired because they stay in that place of warfare. They are staying in this season, in this place of warfare, and they feel like, I can't move from here. I got to stay here. And they are wearing themselves out. And they ain't seeing no results. They are wearing themselves out. They're doing all this praying in the prayer room. They're doing all this spiritual warfare, and they ain't seeing no results. It's like, how I'm praying this hard and fasting this much and doing this stuff this long, and ain't nothing happening. You might need to reassess. You might need to go talk to somebody. You might need to take a break. You might need to pull out. You might need to find some balance. Okay? Now, what I have discovered as a coach is sometimes wives are doing too much of the same things and not doing enough of something new. They're doing too much. Like I said, for example, that spiritual warfare. A lot of wives stay in that area feeling like, if I got to just keep saying these prayers over and over again and seeing these prayers, come to pass and seeing these things, it's like, but is that what God is telling you to do in this season? Because maybe God is telling you to do something else. Maybe you need a new strategy. Maybe you need something else to do besides what you've been doing that's not working, right? They are expecting new breakthroughs, but they are unwilling to do anything differently, right? They want breakthroughs, but they have not yet did anything differently. And I'm starting to wonder. I'm just being Coach T. I'm starting to wonder, for the ones whom are certain that God has called them to this place. Because I get so many wives, I know God told me to be here. And I know God gave me an instruction. I know God told me. So I'm like, okay, all right, okay. If God has called you to this place, like you say he has, then you investing in yourself is part of the journey that God has called you to. You don't think God will make provision for you to get the necessary things that you need for this journey? God will make a way, wife. So many wives use the excuse of, oh, I want to get the help, and oh, I would love to do this. And I wonder, are you sure that God told you to do this? Because if God told you to do this and you're being strategic and you are seeking him out, he's going to make a way. He's going to make a way. I remember I had one lady, she didn't have the money. She did not have the money. And she was praying, and she was asking me to lift her up in prayer that she really wanted to, do this. And She needed to figure out how she was going to do it, because she knew that she needed to do this curriculum. She needed to do the curriculum. And she prayed about it and prayed about it and prayed about it, and God made provision for her. God made provision for her. So I'm not really sure anymore. At one point, I used to be like, okay, well, they may not have it, da, da, da. But now it's like, if God has called you to this, God gonna make a way for you to get the necessary tools that you need. What are you doing or not doing for you not to get to that place? It's the same. It's no different than a person like, okay, you know, I fell behind on my bills, or, you know, my money got short, but the bills are still due. God, these people going to ask me money. What can I do? How can I be able to still, you know, move forward with this? Like, God knew that was going to happen. God knew, and God said, trust me, it's going to be all right. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to fix it for you. It's going to work itself out. You got to trust and believe that he's going to do just that, right? And so what I'm saying is, a lot of wives are saying that God has called them to this place, yet they're unwilling to invest in themselves, where investing in themselves is part of this journey. And then it's like, well, I don't have the money to do it. Then it makes me question, are you sure you're supposed to be doing it in the first place? Because if you are questioning whether or not investing in yourself is something that you should be doing or not, then you might need to go back and spend a little bit more time with God and see if this is what you're supposed to really be doing, right? Because God is not going to call you halfway and get you right here and be like, okay, I'm going to just leave you right here to hang. No. If he's told you you're supposed to be doing this, if he's giving you certain specific instructions and things that you need to do, and part of that is investing in yourself to be a better, a healthier version of yourself, he's going to make provision, right? He's going to make provision. What is at stake, wife? What is at stake concerning your yes? What is at stake? I'm gonna give you 3 things. Your next steps moving forward, your spiritual growth and development, and your lack of accountability. These things are at stake when your yes is on pause. These things are at stake when you are at a place, you are at a standstill. These things are at stake. One of the things I had shared with a wife recently, like, you know, don't stop doing your check-ins, because a lot of times when wives, you know, like I said, I can minister to you for like, you know, 30 days straight, and you've gotten used to me ministering to you that way. And so you kind of like been on routine with that. But then all of a sudden it's like, okay, now I cut you loose for 30 days and you can easily fall backwards. You can easily fall into deception. You can easily fall into depression. And it's like, now, when that happens, it's like starting all over again. Wives are not being serious about what it is that they're saying, quote unquote, God is calling them to. They're not really being serious. And this is why you have so many, and this is just my opinion, transformational coaches who are saying, no, I don't want to do that kind of work no more. Or they are now moving to group coaching, and they want to do, more groups and things and extend out that way, because it's like people not being serious and they're wasting my time. They're being serious and they're wasting my time. So many ladies, so many wives are altering their seasons and hindering their progress just because they are unwilling to keep going. They are unwilling to say yes continuously. Right? And so it's like you get to a place in your journey where it's like, okay, a stumbling block, like, okay, how I'm gonna get over this? Like, what I gotta do to overcome this? What I gotta do to, get past this part? And it's like, you don't think that God didn't know that stumbling block was gonna be there before you got to that place? God already knows your ways. He knows your ways. So you don't think that he didn't know a stumbling block was gonna be there before you got to this place? Right? I was sharing with one of the coaches that I work with Retreat Her. When I did the retreat, I was telling her, like, man, how much money of my own that I had to put into the retreat. So much of my own money. And people think, oh, you have this big event, you don't have all this money, this and whatever. It's like, y'all got no idea. you don't know the sacrifices that coaches are making to put on something like this for a person to get there and not be serious. You don't know that. But that's when your mindset as a coach have to shift. Where it's like, okay, this is not just about putting this on for them, God is also trying to teach me something in this as well. So I need to receive the lesson from this as well. Because God already knew you can do all these things, and these people still would say, oh, well, I need to think about it. Oh, I'm not ready, to invest. Oh, this and that, whatever. It's like, okay, but what did you as a coach get from that? Like, what was God trying to teach you in that place as well? So it goes both ways, right? It goes both ways. And so many people, so many wives are altering their seasons and holding themselves back from God's next best thing for them because they're unwilling to say yes, because they're unwilling to keep moving forward. Let me share some transparency with y'all. Y'all know I have to share some transparency with y'all. I've told y'all many, many times how I walked around the same mountain for 10 years in my marriage. Like, just in the same place, right? 10 years to be exact. Because I remember it was at the 10th year where God allowed my marriage to go through all kinds of hell. Not like we wasn't already going through stuff before then, but it was like the fire got set off up in that bad boy, okay? And it was also during a time where I thought I was going to literally die. It was one of the hardest times of my life. I'm telling you, one of the roughest, most hardest times of my life. And that's also where God informed me that the enemy was not after my husband. And I shared this message, early in this week, but the enemy was not after my husband, but rather he was after me. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm confused because I'm not doing what he's doing. So what do you mean he's after me? Right? Like I'm not doing the same things that he's doing. So what does that mean? And so God was like, yeah, like your husband, the enemy not after him, he's after you. All right. And you say, okay, well, Coach C, why was the enemy after you then? Like, what was he doing? Like, why was he chasing after you? And I think I figured it out. I think I finally, narrowed it down. Prior to these things happening, before my marriage started to actually break down and go through all kinds of hell like it did, God had already been calling me. God had already been talking to me. God had already been on my neck, on my back. Like he was like in my ear like this, like, girl, you better do something. God was already calling me. And I was like, I ain't doing that. God would ask me over and over and over and over again. Are you ready? My daughter, are you ready? Tanika, let me help you with this. Are you ready? Daughter, are you ready? And you would think like he wasn't talking to you like that. I promise you to God, he was talking to me just like that. Anytime a situation came up in my marriage and it went left, with me and that man being got into it, I would hear the Holy Spirit right after. Daughter, are you ready? Tanika, let me help you with this. You ready? Well, they know God, I got this. Like, he the one, you need to go check on him. He the one with the problem. Like, I'm good over here. He's the one tripping. I'm good over here. Every single time, God just let me go through that. He let me go through that. And he told me during that time as well, what he needed me to do in the kingdom. He told me what he needed me to do. And I declined that too. I was like, I'm not doing that, Jesus. I'm not doing that. I hear too many stories about people like that. I ain't doing that. Like, God, give me something, choose somebody else. Give me something else to do. Right? And because I was disobedient over and over and over and over and over, because you do understand that if God has told you to do something, you don't do it, you are walking in disobedience. Hello, let me say it again. You do know that if God has asked you to do something and you do not do it, you are walking in disobedience. And so because I was being disobedient, God came after my marriage. God came after my marriage. And that place, he was like, oh, I gotta locate her heart. Oh, okay, found it. It's in her marriage. She idolized this marriage too much. She loved being a wife. She loves being this man's wife. She loves being a married woman, but she don't want to do what I'm asking her to do. Oh, okay, I'm gonna show her. We finna shift some things. We finna turn this thing upside down. And that's what he did. And that's what he did. God had told me for years prior to that your husband is your assignment. And when he told me that, I was like, okay, my husband's my assignment. All right. Like I had like really, really like, like a few years, after being married, we got married. Me and my husband, we got married young. So we was both 23. I think I got about 26, 27. 27, I really, really got like real connected with the Lord because my marriage had started taking on that type of, hardship. And God had, I was understanding what, assignments meant. And I was understanding the word a whole lot more. Because I've always been a church girl. My husband called me church girl now. He was like, oh, you walking around in your church lady clothes? That's a sidebar. But I always been a church girl. Like I always been like a hillbilly. I always been that kind of person. Like just real chill, like, just real chill. It takes a lot for me to like put on clothes and get dressed up. Like, when I do that, it's like I do that, I go all the way out. But when I'm home, honey, in my own little space, honey, it's baby, whatever we got, whatever I can pull out. And so my husband had just recently started, saying that, like, I see you got your church clothes on again. That's a side note. And so, I started to understand what assignments meant, and God called you to certain things and doing certain things. I had been doing my due diligence in the Word. I had been, studying the Word of God, but at the same time, I still was not being obedient with the things that He was calling me, because I was like, you calling me like I'm Tanika, like. You call somebody else for that, like that's not something that I'm supposed to be doing. Like I'm supposed to be doing something else. Like I ain't supposed to be doing that. Like I ain't really see myself in that area like that. And God told me that my husband's gonna be my assignment. And so he wanted me to love him. He would always tell me, Tanika, love your husband. Love your husband. Love your husband. I would hear God say that all like ringing in my ears. Tanika, love your husband. Love your husband. And I'm like, okay, I can do that. I can love him. I loved him, right? I thought. But I later figured out and discovered that no, you was loving him with conditions. You was loving him with conditions. Instead of loving him like Christ, you was loving him with conditions. And for some odd reason, I don't know why. For some odd reason, anytime my husband would do something wrong, anytime that he would like, mess up or whatever, and I will, say something to him about it, confront him about the situation, whatever, I'm the one that got in trouble for it. I was the one who was getting in trouble for it. I was the one getting convicted. I was the one like God was yelling at. I was like, wait a minute. I'm confused. Because he did that. I just said something to him about it. God be like, go apologize to him. Because I told him not to go apologize to him. And so for years, I struggled with that. For years, I was confused about why that God is letting this man like get a pass, but he is so heavy and so hard on me. Why is God letting this dude get by with certain things, cheating and mishandling me and talking to me all kinds of ways, all sideways out of his dad? Like, why am I being convicted? Like, God, what's up with that? How is he getting away with this stuff? And you telling me to go and apologize. Apologize to who? For what? I ain't did nothing wrong. So I was struggling with that. I was struggling with entitlement. I was struggling with what I felt like I ain't supposed to be dealing with that kind of stuff. Who supposed to do that kind of stuff? People don't deal with stuff like that. They ain't what marriage is about. This is how marriage is supposed to be. God, you're supposed to be doing this kind of stuff. And I was like, God, like, you gonna tell me about the covenant, a marriage covenant, that I am the creator of the marriage covenant, and you gonna tell me what's right and what's wrong? I said, go and apologize to him. And I would have to do that over and over again. And so I later discovered that the reason why those things was necessary. What's up, Miss Lady? Those things was necessary is because I was hindering my next steps going forward. My spiritual growth and development was not improving, was not changing. It was on a standstill. And I had no accountability. I had no accountability. I was all out of whack, all out of control. And so I said it to say, it's important that you keep your yes on this journey, wife. It's important that you keep going back to God saying, yes, yes. And that's how he woke me up this morning. Yes. God wants your yes over and over and over again. He wants you to keep coming to him and telling him, God, I trust you. I don't really know what you're doing right now. I don't really like this feeling. I don't really know where we're going with this. I don't really know why you are allowing these things to happen, but you are allowing these things. God, I trust you. And I still say yes. God, I don't know what's going to happen next. I don't know what's going to happen here. I don't know what's up, but I'm going to trust you, God, and I'm going to keep on saying yes. Wise, you got to keep giving God your yes. I cannot urge you enough to pivot on this journey. And so many wise want to eat the fruit of the land, but they don't want to do the things that's required for them to get this kind of fruit. If you know God has chosen you for this journey, stop wasting time. Stop wasting time. Investing in yourself is not about money. It's about the journey ahead. So many wives feel like they are, I'm putting all this money into this, and I don't even know if this is going to work. It's like, this is not about money. This is not about investing in you. Is not about money. Investing in you is about what God has up the road for you next. It's no different from tithing and offering. Is not about the church. So many people that they give, I'm not giving my money to that pastor. I'm not giving my money to the church. And some people may be offended by that kind of stuff. But I am that one who believes in the tithes and the offering. And it's not about you giving your money to the church. You give your money to the man at the church. It's about your worship to God. It's worship, right? So many are hindering themselves on this journey because they're not willing to keep giving their yes to God. Going back to Isaiah 1:19, if ye be willing and obedient, you shall eat the good of the land. You shall eat the fruit of the land when you do things God's way, wife. Either way it goes. Either way it turns out. However it turns out. Whatever the end may be. You want to make sure that you're on a winning side. Because you know what? I gave God my yes. I trusted God with my yes. I continue to go after God with my yes. I continue to lay my yes at the altar. I continue to say yes, yes, yes. In spite of what was going on around me, in spite of what I was seeing, in spite of what I was dealing with, I kept giving God my yes. And wife's got to get to that place. Now, on the flip side of this, the other song that I've been hearing in my ears a lot lately is that song by Drake. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. And I've been hearing that song over and over again. I'm like, okay, I like this little jam here. I ain't really a rap girl. I'm an R&B, to its core. But every now and again, that Florida girl come out. And when I heard that, my youngest son here, he loved Drake. Okay, that's another story for another day. But every time you turn around, he send me like little Drake, videos and little Drake, memes and all that kind of stuff. And I had been hearing that song a lot. Like, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. And I hear God saying to some of you, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you for showing up for yourself. I'm so proud of you for holding on. I'm so proud of you for trusting in me. I'm so proud of you for keep going. I'm so proud of you for doing the things that you've been doing. I'm so proud of you for learning the lesson. I'm so proud of you. Keep telling me yes. Keep telling me yes. I'm so proud of you for investing in yourself. I'm so proud of you for making that decision. I'm so proud of you for doing things my way. I'm so proud of you for surrendering. I'm so proud of you. Wife, God is saying, all I need is her yes. All I need is her yes. All I need is her yes on this journey. And she give me her yes, I can make her yes. And explode it to something so much bigger, something she have never seen, something she have never experienced, something she never even thought could happen, all because she told me yes. Wise, you have to make a decision today. You have to make a decision today. Which side of this journey are you going to be on? Which side of this journey are you going to remain? Keep on giving God your yes. Keep on giving God your yes. If you are that wife and you're ready to give God your yes on this journey, I want to encourage you to sign for your wife consultation. It is time for you to do your work. I get so many inquiries from wives who, after they get that email from Coach T, honey, with how much a consultation costs, it's almost like, I don't hear no more from them. I don't hear no more from them. And before, I used to trip about that. I used to trip about that. But now it's like, because I don't waste my time. If you're not serious, then don't waste my time. Because I don't really want to do that anyway. I have a coach colleague right now who has specifically said that she refused to work with clients, on this one-on-one level, just because people are not serious and they're wasting your time, and they're not going to pay her. They're not going to necessarily pay her what she's asking of them. And so she's not even, even in that place where she want to even, give herself up of that, like, we not out here just out here. First of all, this is our livelihood first, okay? And so it's part of our job. But then secondly, we are pouring so much. We are pouring so much into what it is that God is holding us accountable for. It's not like it goes both ways. Like, you are investing by spending your money, but we are investing as well, because we're putting our time in, and now we're being held accountable by God. Because God is saying, how you gonna handle my daughter? I need to make sure you're gonna tell my daughter the truth. I need to make sure that you're gonna tell that you're gonna handle my daughter, with the words, and get her the correct words I'm speaking to you. How are you going to handle my daughter? So it goes on both sides. It's not a one-sided thing on this journey. And that's what wives have to understand. When you sign up with a coach, it's not like, oh, I'm just signing up with a coach. No, this is a coach and client relationship, and we both play a major role. Just like you investing, when I say, okay, we're gonna walk this thing out for 10 weeks, that's a lot of weeks. That's a lot that I have to be held accountable for too, because God holds me accountable to making sure that I'm stewarding what I'm supposed to do well as a coach. He wants me to make sure that I'm supposed to be doing too for you. And so this is a season to get serious about if this is something that you're supposed to be doing. If it is something you're supposed to be doing, give God your yes. Give God your yes. If I say, for the ones who can't sign up for a consultation right now, this would be a great opportunity for you to sign up for the free MasterLife Marriage Event online. This would be a great opportunity for you to sign up for, like, okay, well, I can't necessarily do a consultation right now. Let me save up a little bit, but let me, come to the free MasterLife class and see what I can get from that, what I can, go from there. Like I said, I do have other services. That if you're not ready to do a consultation, that you can, that you can do. But you don't want to be at a standstill on this journey. You don't want to be just pause on this journey. God wants you to move forward. He cares about your development. He cares about your growth. He cares about your seasons being altered. He cares about the next steps that you are taking. He cares that you are being held accountable for the things that he is calling you to. Because most of the wives who have been called to stay in this type of marriage and to do this type of marriage assignment, most of these wives have kingdom responsibilities that God is training you for. And your marriage is the tool. Your marriage is the vehicle that he's using to train you. Most of these wives that God has said, I want you to stay in a marriage that you have biblical reasons to exit out of, if you have biblical reasons to leave, this is not about your marriage. I just told y'all my transparency, how for those years God had been calling me, and he had already told me what he wanted me to do, and I still was denying. Like, nope, nope, I don't want to do that, God. Nope. I was going to church every day, every week, praising God, worshiping and everything, and still telling him no. Stop playing. Stop playing. Stop saying that, oh, I know God has called me to this journey, but you don't want to stop and invest in yourself. Oh, I know God has told me to do these types of things, but You don't want to get the necessary coaching that you need to continue to move forward on this journey, to get the next steps. Because as you move, as you're working, as you're doing things that God is calling you to, God is working on your behalf. God is working in your marriage. God is seeking out things with your husband. God is going to show you some things. God is going to bring some things to your attention. And that's what so many wives get stuck at, because they're so busy worrying about, well, what if I do all this and nothing happened? What if I do all this and my marriage still? What if I do all this? It's like, this is a faith journey. God is asking you to trust him. He said, just keep giving me your yes. That's all I need from you. Just keep giving me your yes. Keep giving me your yes, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Keep giving me your yes, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to bring these things to pass. Keep giving me your yes, and I'm going to show you how victorious you're going to be on this journey. Keep giving me your yes. And so on that note, wives, I want to encourage you. Sign up today for your consultation, right? You can sign up at www.marriagechroniclesbytanika.com. Listen, like I said, I have several options for wives to partake in, depending on what she is on her journey. And that's why the consultation is so important, because the consultation allows me to do an assessment to see exactly where you are and what you need. Some wives are not necessarily ready for her bonus to boost. Some wives are not mature enough for her bonus to boost. Some wives really need to walk through the detox, the mental emotional detox. Some wives need that one-on-one. Some wives need to just check in, twice a month. Some wives need to check in on a consistent basis. But some wives are ready for coaching. Some wives are ready for that accountability and that support. Some wives are ready to get to that next place because God been already done told you. God been already told you what's next. And you are hindering yourself, and you are keeping yourself behind, and you're keeping yourself in that same still place, thinking that, oh, I'm going this way, I'm going to give it a little bit more time on this and that. And God, like, what are you waiting for? Because I already done told you, I'm not going to change my mind. What are you waiting for? I've already said what I had to say. I'm not going to change my mind. Stop this, wife. Keep giving God your yes. Keep giving God your yes, and watch and see how he shows up for you on this journey. All right. And so on that note, I want to encourage you, ladies, sign up today. www.marriagechroniclesbytanika.com. In the meantime, y'all go do something that you enjoy doing. Do something that you want to do. What you want to do. Not what somebody else wants you to do. Do something that you want to do. All right. And I'll see y'all on the other side. Blessings.